All right, so this is the first project that I'm making for my Shabby Valentine YouTube hop, and I just thought it'd be really fun to make this fabric heart. And so anyway, I've done this before, and I'll put a link in the description box below to the Valentine swap that I did a couple years ago, and I had made one of these shabby hearts. And so um, I did it in different colors. So I just thought you might be interested in seeing what different looks you can get doing this process. But I am a visual learner and I wanted to show you what I did. Um, so I've got so much done so far, and then I'll just explain to you what I've done and show you what I'm going to do. But basically, I just took a bunch of trims that I had on my stash. I am trying to be a bit frugal. I um, am needing to just use what I have at the house, and which is quite a bit. So don't feel sorry for me. I've got plenty. But anyway, so I went ahead and cut a heart out of white cardstock, and it's not super heavy. It's just regular old cardstock because I don't want it to be super thick because it's going, it's possibly going in a junk journal. So, and then once I cut out my heart, and I went ahead and I just folded a piece of scrap paper and just did a heart by freehand and unfolded the paper um, after I traced and cut it out. And then I traced it, cut it out of the design paper here. And so anyway, once I have my two hearts, then I went ahead and um, just glued everything on top of the heart, like you see here. Just a bunch of ribbons and trims, and I've got that eyelash trim there, and that little pink rosettes, pom pom trim, and just glued everything onto the front of the heart. And so that's all there is to it. And so now all that I need to do is just trim off the excess off of the side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And I know it's not going to be a perfect cut because, some of those trims overlap and they're quite thick, and there's going to be um, little bits of ribbon wanting to fray off and everything. But I'm not really going to mind that too much because, like I said, it's probably going to end up in a junk journal. I don't, and it is a shabby, supposed to be a shabby type project. So um, it's not a true shabby. The laces and trims that I've used are not shabby. Everything's in pretty good condition, but it would be pretty cool to do one of these with tattered lace and ribbons and stuff that's stained and old. But that would be really cool. But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of that stuff. I would love to have more vintage lace, but anyway, this is going to be really fun for some kind of a project. So this heart measures about 4.5 inches wide. Um, I want to say it's pretty close to being about as tall as wide. Like I said, I just did it by freehand. I didn't measure anything, but I think this is going to be a nice size to tuck into a junk journal page or something, and definitely could be made smaller. Um, and if you do smaller, you probably want a smaller rosette trim. Definitely mini mini pom pom trims and things like that that are very delicate when it's going to be smaller. And of course, you could do it larger too. And so right now I'm sorting through this stuff because I like saving some of those bits and pieces. Like I put in a container, and um, when I'm crafting certain things and I just need a little tuck here or a little bit of lace or trim sticking out here, I'll use things like that. Just little bits and pieces. So now I've just got to check the edges there and make sure that I'm gluing down anything that might be sticking up. And I've got this piece here that I want to trim off. Um, just trying to keep it, I don't mind if a little bit of the lace sticks over, but that one piece was bugging me, I guess. I didn't quite have it. So you can see on the back here that I've already put the trim on, but I'm just going to go ahead and glue those two pieces together. All right, so I had to step away for a moment. So as I was saying, I'm going to be gluing these two pieces together. But first I wanted to show you that I did add this eyelash trim around the edges, and then I will sandwich that in between the two heart pieces. And so I'll glue that together off camera. I just want to make sure I get all my edges just really perfect and even, because I won't be able to trim anything once I get that glued together because of that eyelash trim is sticking out in between. Um, Also, I'm going to be adding some beaded or sequin trim, little bits and pieces I want to sew onto the front, and just in case I need to poke all the way through with my thread and needle, I want to make sure that I'm able to do that. And so I'll just sew some sequins here and there on the front, and then once I've done that, then I'm going to glue the two pieces together. But like I said, I'm a visual person, and I just wanted you to be able to see the process of how I make this heart. And so you'll see the finished project during the walkthrough. All right, so I've decided to make a paperclip dangle to go with my heart embellishment. I think this would be cute dangling somewhere in a junk journal or something like that. And so all I've done is take some glue and wrap this design paper around the paper clip. You can see where it's glued on the back here. Um, and that's all there is to it. You don't have to get crazy with the glue, because once you put the little dangles on the ends, there's no way the paper is going to slide off. So, but anyway, then I'm going to add just some of the leftover trims from my heart, and I'm just going to wrap them around like this, and it's just going to be, a little messy and a little shabby, because like I said, they're just little scraps and stuff. So I'm going to play around with that and see how that goes, and then I'll be back. All right, so I have finished adding the um, trim to my paperclip dangle, and all that's left for me to do is to add the little beads and the sequins and the dangle on the bottom there. But you'll see the finished project in my walkthrough video. And this was just kind of a how-to on how I create these items. I didn't want it to be a full process video because I just think that's really boring to watch me sew. It takes a lot of time to sew all the little beads and sequins on, and so you'll catch that in the walkthrough. So I'll put a link in the description box below where you can see both of these items complete.